Hello and welcome to a long-lost Amundson Family music podcast. We haven't done one in a while. So we had started it back in the spring, Sonora and I, and we did pretty good for a while. And then summer came, and then it slowed down, and we didn't get any podcasts done. Then it slowed down, and Sonora and I got a few podcasts in. Maybe you got involved in one too. And then it got busy again. So here we are again, not very consistent, but...
Story of our lives.
See, there you go.
We try.
You probably get enough of us anyways, everyone out there. We put out a lot of songs every day.
Actually, people are asking for Gabriel. They want to see him because he's always behind the scenes.
You know,
so we're going to have him peep in and say hello.
I had him come out on a live stream one time, and... he didn't really like that. I heard about it after.
He's kind of shy.
He is. Now, don't let that let that confuse you. He's a very nice man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He's just shy. So welcome. I don't know what number of podcasts it is, but I'm so glad to have you here, my dear.
Thank you.
And we will find some things to talk about. But in the meantime, while you think about that, I'm going to tell people that Sonora and Ira at this moment are up in Idaho visiting. And did you see the picture on Facebook that Sonora shared where it was Ira, Sonora, and some other girl? And I had someone ask me, I recognize the two in there, but who's the other girl? Well, that's Ira's friend who he kind of is the initiative to go visit.
Likes to spend time with.
Yeah. And a very nice family. The whole family is very good friends of ours. Mm-hmm. And there's a local church that they can attend there. And so we're blessed and we're thankful that they can go spend time with wonderful people and an obviously beautiful place.
Mm-hmm. The foothills of the mountains.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's in Idaho, of course, in the foothills. Very beautiful area and nice weather. Today they were outside after church, plus 25 Celsius, playing
60 something,
playing ping pong in the.
No, that'd be 70s.
Yeah, it'd be the 70s. It's perfect. Yeah, so it's wonderful.
Ping pong.
Ping pong. Yeah, I was teaching Christina to watch her plosives. Oh, the other way to deal with that is if you're going to do ping pong, just put your hand over it. We had to learn all these things in the recording studio, so that our plosives would be covered.
That means I have to show my nails.
Oh.
So the reason why...
Oh, as if you don't want to show your nails.
The reason why it took us so long to get here today is because I was doing my nails. Really cool thing that they have now. You paint your nails with some solution, and then you use a dryer or some kind of a light anyway. And really affordable kit a friend of mine bought. Thank you, Maria. So anyway, when it's dry, your nails are colorful when they are cold. But when you get into the heat, if you're out in the sun, they turn clear. So as you go outside, if it's cool,
they're not mood nails.
They're not. You put them in cold water and they turn bright, whatever color you've chosen.
Do you remember the mood rings that used to be popular when we were young?
Yes.
And you were supposed to be able to tell if someone was happy or sad. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy about your nails.
Well, they came off. They started peeling off, so I had to take the time to soak them. And
well, I appreciate you doing that. You look lovely. Just don't criticize us boys and our toys, because you have your thing.
Yes.
We have ours.
Yes.
So.
But your boys' toys are much more expensive than a $20 set of nail polish.
Okay, boys' toys can be more expensive. Now, I gotta say, I'm not as bad as most people. Maybe that didn't come out right.
No, I will toot your horn. You don't go golfing to exotic places. You don't accessorize the vehicles with expensive doodads.
I'm a pretty simple guy.
You are.
If I can have my family around, I'm pretty content.
You just like to buy really nice instruments. That's your fetish.
Yeah.
Which is paid off.
Although
sounds very well.
That's really good. So the guitar is a 1951 Gibson J50, which I inherited from my father, so I'm happy about that. This bass, I might as well tell the story on that. After our fire, we were gifted with a very nice Eminence bass. Do you remember that?
I do.
The fiddle-looking thing?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
it
can
ended
move it
up
every
that
time I
that was
vacuum.
worth a good amount of money. And so when we needed a bass like this, we were able to trade it in and get a nice upright bass. So there you go. I didn't have to pay for either of those instruments. Now the mandolin and the banjo, that's another story. We won't.
But it's worth it. It gives us a good sound.
I think that those on here may agree, but Ira has one of the better sounding banjos that I know of. And that's not, and it's partly because he is so good at it, but it is a very good sounding banjo. It's a 1993 Gibson made by Greg Rich when he was with the Gibson factory there. And they made some banjos that rival the old pre-war banjos. And you listen to Ira and I think you'll be able to say that that's true.
Sounds a lot like Ralph Stanley.
Earl Scruggs.
Earl Scruggs, right.
Ralph Stanley, he had a different tone. That comes with the arch top banjo. Ira plays a flat top, which is what Earl Scruggs played. Now, Ralph Stanley, very good, great tone, but different tone. Yeah, you're real excited about all that.
Very good musicians. No, I was at a craft fair yesterday and I heard some music, toe tapping music, and it happened to be Bluegrass.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we played Bluegrass last night at the Katy Depot Hobo Dinner.
We sure did.
Did you get your fill of cornbread and beans?
No, not quite. I could have had more.
Well, we brought some home.
Oh, yes, we did. In fact, the cornbread's still in the trunk. I got to get it out.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, we have a Katy Depot train station. 1890 it was built, and we're trying to revive it as a museum. It is full of artifacts from the train, Katy Depot train, and from the town. Or is it do you call Shakota a town or a city?
City.
Okay, city. They call everything a city here, seems like. So
The Katy Depot wasn't a train. It was a depot.
well,
But
it was
the MKT
it was the MKT train railway,
system.
that went in Missouri, Kansas, Texas, and what at that point was Oklahoma State or Oklahoma Territory,
Indian Territory.
Indian Territory. Yeah, so they couldn't.
Well, you've spent many hours in the museum. You probably could tell a story better than I could.
Well, that's about all I know.
Okay.
So, well, anyways, so they served a hobo dinner, cornbread, beans. What else did they have?
Stew.
Stew, yeah, soup. That was good. And then select people brought in all kinds of baking. And then there was an auction. And, whoa, some of them went for like $500.
Over 500, yes.
Yeah.
That auctioneer was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Anyways, we did end up coming home with a couple pieces, although we didn't pay $500 for them.
No.
But, that strawberry cheesecake you bought. Oh, was that ever good?
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly's. Made right there in Shakota, Oklahoma.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to have that in the house every day. I would. It's just way too tempting.
We're going to have to meet Nellie and personally thank her for her donation.
Yeah.
So all the baked goods were donated for this auction, and all the proceeds will be going to help keep the lights on inside the museum and help improve things.
Yeah. The only bad thing about having really good cheesecake around are Nate is in the house, sick, throwing up. So say a prayer for Nate. Mind you, this isn't live, is it? But prayers are retroactive, right?
Yes.
So anyways, he's not feeling good this afternoon, but he's a trooper. And Anna's got a sore throat too.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're out here staying away from the germs.
That's right. So I'm just wondering, I hope he just didn't have too much cheesecake. So you had a subject that you wanted to maybe talk about. Is that something you want to breach at this point?
Well, we were going to share a verse, weren't we? We had talked about in church the commandment, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all your heart.
Well, yeah, one of the men asked, well, what is the first commandment? And that is?
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. And thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So that was the one he actually wanted to get to. And it's pretty fitting in this day and age where we're having wars and rumors of wars. If we would all just love our neighbor,
As ourselves.
that would change a lot of things in this world. Well, it would solve the problem. Well, when Jesus comes and sets up his reign, which he is doing in you and in me, and in you who are believers, then that will be a reality where people will love their neighbor as themselves. Yeah.
And we were going to talk about, I guess, practical ways that you can help your neighbor and God sightings. So a chapter in my life, I couldn't say it's ended, but it's definitely shifted gears because I was a nanny for a couple of adorable
They were so
toddlers.
cute. Yeah.
But God has called them to a different place in Oklahoma for now. And
Well, we can say that. No one will, I mean, they moved to Montana. And of course, Christina and I, we have always, if we had our dream place to move, it was Montana.
yes,
It has the best of both worlds, I think, except it doesn't have mangoes. That's the only thing.
and I'm not sure I'd like to be right next to the mountains. I'm thinking they're going to get a lot of snow where they are.
Yeah, I'd be fine not being right in the mountains. I'd be fine being like foothills area, ranching area.
Drive to the mountains.
Yeah.
So that is ended, but there came a point where I told the mother, Haley, listen, I am not here to be a nanny. I am here to babysit your children. I'm taking them because you need help.
She did
I
need
am
help.
your babysitter. And what does the Bible say? What did the Good Samaritan do? He came upon someone who needed help and he helped them. And at some point it shifted from me being the nanny to me being a woman who could help a young woman in need.
Well, it started out as you didn't know that they were going to be moving, but she just hired you to help out with the kids because, well, we won't get into details, but she's just very busy. She needed help with the kids. And so you did that, but then it came so that you found full-time work at the school and really needed to quit the nanny position. But we just really felt that for some reason we need to hold on to that for a little while longer. And sure enough, it ended up that her husband lost her job where he was and that he was being transferred to Montana. And as busy as she was, moving on top of that was impossible. And so you came in there as more of a Graham and just took over the kids and just was a really big help. So yeah, to me, I'll toot your horn this time. That was a prime example of being, of loving your neighbor and being your brother's keeper, if you want to put it that way too.
Yes, she was definitely in need, and
Well,
we've prayed consistently for them throughout their journey. It took them a little bit of time, of course, day before they needed to leave. One of the toddlers was running a fever, and then the next day or the other one a fever. So, of course, we haven't heard, but we're assuming that they have made it to Montana. Last time they were in Wyoming, so we are
pretty
praying
close.
and believing.
do you know the other blessing that came about? So you would take the kids and bring them to our house. So these are 2 11-month, well, around a
year.
And our boys are not used to having babies around. And so it was a real eye-opener for them and a real stretch for them. And I think a real blessing on everybody to have those two here. just because it made such a change in our house for a little while. And you cannot have babies in the house and be selfish. Is that the way to put it? And you know how teenage boys can get sometimes. So it was good. And of course, it didn't bother me. I love kids. And so it was a blessing to have them around.
I think we should be foster parents. To little ones, though. We live so close to the road.
I might have to edit that part out.
Just one at a time, maybe this time. Not two.
We won't tell people how old we are.
You're only as old as you think you are.
Really? Huh. I might...
As the heart believe, what does the scripture say? As the heart believes, the mind justifies. No.
I'm going to think real hard how I can use that saying to my benefit at some point.
As a man thinketh in his heart.
So is he?
So is he.
Something like that.
That's what it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, so the other thing that you wanted to talk about, and that I think we have a little bit of time.
Okay, God sightings.
Yes.
So when I was leaving Haley's, a couple of times when I thought, oh, what am I doing? I have a family to go home to. I have a full-time job, but I know that what I'm doing is God's work.
So that's going through your mind.
So that's going through my mind. I'm leaving her house and I see a little fawn come out of the bushes and cross my path. And of course, God is so good. He knows I hate to kill animals. And the fawn just misses the car. But it was a fawn and it was so adorable. And another night, I was leaving her house. A possum, possum, came across my path. And I thought, how long have we been back here? And I have not seen one of those. They're native to Oklahoma. We've seen quite a few armadillos on walks, but never those. They're marsupials, so they carry their babies in their pouch. They hang upside down. They're quite unique, and they're everywhere, but I haven't seen one except maybe one dead, squished. So that was another God sighting. And those God sightings, they had their beginnings in Bible school, which you weren't so much a part of, but our children were, and we are seeing the fruit of that idea of God sightings, looking around to see God's work, and it's everywhere. I'm teaching science, and I think to myself, wow, I get to teach about God's work, his handiwork.
But you also, like, back to your original story, you use that God sighting as somewhat of a confirmation to how you were feeling.
Yes, definitely.
And that, I have always done that too. Something that we learned about each other while we were recording is that when we're kind of going through something and we're trying to decide on things and not sure if what we're thinking is right, something will show up, even if it's a penny, right? Or maybe it's that bald eagle that flies across the sky and perches not too far from you. And you kind of get that, thank you, Lord. I feel that was a bit of a confirmation. And pretty much it always has been.
Yes.
So I don't know, call it weird, but it's a
coincidence.
You
can call it whatever you want, but we know.
We're no mystic. We don't mean to be mystical. We just know that God can place things and people and events in our way that can give confirmation to how he's leading us. I believe that.
Yes, confirmation.
And animals has generally been it for me, because being out in nature has always been my way to clear my mind, seek the Lord for direction, or change the direction of my mind. Like if something's bothering me, I'll get out and into nature and I'll praise the Lord. I'll sing, I'll pray, I'll do whatever. And So
show us in the comments if you have had a God sighting that has really calmed your mind, or confirms something, or just giving you that sense that God is with you and he sees what you're going through.
Yeah, like a smile from God almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But God sightings. I think that's neat because there's a new song. I don't know who it's by, but it talks about exactly what is on my mind a lot, that the stars are a witness for us. They are his handiwork. And the stars are what we are guided by, ships on the sea, sailors. But it also is a confirmation that there is a creator.
Absolutely.
Something beyond what we can imagine. And scientists with the Hubble Space Telescope, they're seeing that there are billions upon billions of universes that we don't even know about. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, God is eternally progressive.
And we doubt him. Help us. Anyways, that was good, but I think we're going to wrap it up. Unless you had something else.
I think we covered all our subjects.
Yeah. We don't usually come with much, but we ended up taking about 20 minutes to talk. And so it's been good. We will try to do this again soon. All right, everyone, take care.